Welcome. My name is Aurélie. I'm a Vedic astrologer, and today we are going to be talking about Pitri Paksha, the ancestors, and karmic destiny overall. If you do not like astrology, if you are not interested in past lives, spirits, and otherworldly events like ghosts, please scroll away and find something you are interested in. This is a safe space, and I intend to make sure it is kept just as a safe space. All right. We are going to invoke Ganesha. Since I've just said we're going to be talking a little bit on some ghosts and spirits, this is for protection. It's important. And when we focus on certain energies, we should call on protection first. Okay? So please look at the yantra, which is right here. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Look right here. Right? Om Vakratundaya Hum. Om Vakratundaya Hum. Om Vakratundaya Hum. So welcome to this special edition of Vedic astrology, or ancestors, ghosts and spirits, and other mystical things. So again, my name is Aurélie, and I'm a Vedic astrologer. I'm going to be talking mostly on sidereal zodiac. I'm going to be talking a lot about reincarnation and past lives and principles that are part of this whole system of Vedic astrology. Again, Vedic astrology leans on this understanding that we come into this world to experience certain things. Certain things can be changed, while others are really important for us to experience. And we have a certain soul trait, certain soul contract to unburden some suffering and to experience some good things. And there is a balance. In fact, in some of the literature, Vedic astrologers, Jyotishis, are referred to as karmic doctor, because when we look at this chart, it's actually a chakra. It's like all the energy. We're seeing a map of energy on some level. That's why I'm not going to be pulling up a lot of maps on curses, because that is just going to invoke that energy very strongly. So let's start to begin with. This period of time comes every year. It's called Pitri Paksha. In a lot of traditions, we honor the ancestors, the lineage that we come from, and that in Vedic astrology, we see it as a strong influence in our lives. In all the ancient texts, there's a lot of talks over how you could have made this person angry in the past lives, and now you're having this person, or we can see sometimes spirits being an issue because maybe you have used some magic in a past life. So there is a whole tradition of integrating this reality into our day-to-day life and how that causes dysfunction. And we'll get into that. So this time period of the ancestors, it's seen as a celebration for many in India. A lot of special offerings are being made at this time. There is a special offering that is called Tarpana, which I'll show you where to find a manual to do that, to offer to your ancestors. But this is the 2 weeks a year where we just really focus on pacifying our lineage, on making sure ancestors are given water. And the traditional ways is to give water to pacify the ancestors. Isn't that interesting? And incense is really good. If you do have a photo and you're not at all familiar, not interested in doing tarpana, but you do want to honor your ancestors, you can just have a little altar where there's a small photo of a family member that has gone. You can light a candle, offer some incense, and just pour some love and gratitude and remembrance. That is a very good way to just honor the ancestors and the lineage. Now you need to understand we're all a part of each other. In the chart, I can see mom, I can see dad. You know, if you see mom and dad, how much is that influencing us? So much, yeah? someone who was brought up in a beautiful family where there was love, understanding, they were being pushed to find their strength within themselves, made their strong mind, made them confident. They'll do really well in life. They'll always have the strong sun, the strong moon, and it's a great blessing. So in this way, our family, our lineage, the place that we grew up, and this pool is really is really a part of us. It's not just some foreign thing. So that's why these are very two important weeks. So Pitri Paksha begins on the full moon, it ends on a dark moon. This year and last year, the eclipses are happening in this time period, but that is not the usual thing, and the festival doesn't hold to those events, and by that I mean to the eclipses. Yeah. So on the full moon began the 2 weeks of ancestors worship, and it lasts for 2 weeks until this dark moon that is a very mystical dark moon. Now there will also be a solar eclipse in Virgo and in Hasta, which is also a very mystical star cluster, very mystical nakshatra. So when this dark moon on October 2nd, that is when we say the veil is the thinnest. That is when we say we are closer to the spirit realm and the ghosts and the ancestors, and have a lot of just are very present, yeah, in the world. And this is a time where again, we do these offerings, this pacification, and if you're very have a lot of a strong K2 placement, and you've had a lot of experiences with ghosts, this is a moment in time until we get to this October 3rd, where you just want to be really mindful around your home. Make sure you're doing your protection incense. Just you can do the incense and some sage, some clearing things, and light a candle. You can play some mantras. Sometimes I just leave them to play so that it just gets into the whole house. Just be sure to keep the energy clear. There's a special resin that's called gugul, which is very good to clear magic, but just overall just to bring really good energy in the house. It's a very nice clearing. So you can use gugul incense resin. Be careful, it gets very hot like a coal, so you just want to be mindful that you're using it safely. But it's a wonderful tool to have in your toolkit, okay? Overall, I always recommend people, when we use mantra, we use soft mantras, which in Sanskrit we say somya rather than krura, yeah, which is this cruel energy. Yeah? We don't recommend just anyone to start worshipping Kali in their home. Kali has this energy of destruction. Sometimes it's very good for certain placements, and overall in our home we want to invite Ganesha to help us overcome our day-to-day obstacles and be part of our family lives and bring us prosperity and good things. And yeah. So these 2 weeks, we're in these 2 weeks right now. We talked a little bit about our lineage and how it affects us, just thinking about our parents and the environment we grew up in and how much it's going to impact who we are, how we grow up, and what beliefs we keep within ourselves as we age. And so from that knowledge, we understand the importance of the lineage that is being passed down, because there is something being passed down throughout generations. And to do these offerings during these 2 weeks, to do these offerings is really special, because it really helps clear some of these obstacles. It can really help with the moon and the sun. So with the mind and just your overall life, it's a really special moment in time. Now, I talked a little bit about the literature that we have. It was very common in the ancient day, and it's still very common around the world, to have a certain understanding that sometimes a spirit attacks or spirits can cause issues with mental disturbances. I really can't go too much into that. What I will say is that Ganesha worship is very important overall, because all those psychic and disturbances are linked to K2. So Ganesha is really important. You can wear a key. Key is really good thing to wear, and you can do Ganesha puja. If you're from a Christian tradition, there is a form of Mary that is worshipped that is called Mary Doer of Naught. And you can have that in your home. That really helps too. Food for thought. There was a study made in Brazil. They started to integrate spirit healers in psychiatric hospitals, and people would be given the help of both the psychiatry as we know it and the spirit healers, and they had very good results when both of them were integrated. There's a lot written, again, like I said, on psychic disturbances that are related to this energy. Now, I'm not going to talk about placements because it's a very complex and difficult subject, and you don't want to just randomly start studying these. What I will tell you, it's very hard to understand. And just imagine, sometimes the placements will show, you can't just say, oh, these two planets together will make you blah blah blah, because sometimes it will be a great money yoga, great wealth yoga. Yeah, so the person will become an amazing psychic, will help thousands of people get over things that they weren't able to say goodbye to their family, be given message. They'll just really help people, and then they'll be really well known and respected, and it will be a beautiful thing in their life. And sometime it will come out as this very strong psychic disturbance. And then you also have to think about the fact that there is timing. Yeah, so sometimes it can just the timing of when these yogas are start, to really show, are at could be at different stages. Like some people will have those disturbances very pronounced for like 6-7 years, then they just go back, it just just drops off, and the dosha runs, and the karma's burnt, and they just move on with their lives. It's quite incredible. So again, there is no way for I will not be teaching one or two combinations as a way to tell you that is what shows ghosts problems. But anyways, if anyone actually has had a lot of ghosts issues, just use Google, make sure you do Ganesha, and just know during this time it's a little bit more pronounced. You can do some offerings to your ancestors in a very traditional way, nothing weird. We're not offering weird things, we're just offering incense and light and keeping things very clean. Cleanliness in these practices is very important. Goodness of heart is very important. This is a beautiful website from an incredible Vedic astrologer that is really well known and respected in our tradition. He does beautiful predictions on the mundane level. He's very involved in politics, and he does a lot of seva, just putting these things together. And I'm just talking without showing you properly the website. Okay, so you're going to want to go on vedicastrologer.org. Excuse me. You're going to want to go on vedicastrologer.org, and you'll see Homa, spirituality. There's Pitri Tarpana. So that's the ancestors' practices. I'm going to be doing this next week. It's Sunday, so yeah, next weekend. For the first, usually I do it like maybe 3-4 days before this dark moon comes, and then on the dark moon I will be fasting, and then I also have a priest do a special ceremony for the ancestors. And that's because there is some doshas in my charts that is also showing it's really important for me to honor that. Yeah. So you can see Tarpana right here. There are some manuals, and what I love about it is you have simple manuals that, like most, it's translated into. Oh, it isn't in French. I should offer to do that. But you have it in English and Sanskrit, and it's really showing you very simple. That's the one I usually do, not the simple, not the just the second to most simple one. But it's just some offering and invocation. See, to the beings who played the role of father and father in various lives before you. You can see what it's trying to pacify. To beings who played the role of mother in all our lives. So all of these people, all our lives, there's a lot of people that can influence us from the spirit world. Yeah. Sometimes we have some karma where it's just, there are things to be experienced on that level in this life. Because we are spiritual beings, and we're part of lineage, and we're part of a greater tapestry of things. All right, to beings who play the role of sons, maybe one time I was a terrible mama, a terrible father. Yeah. So we want to pacify these energies. And it's a really special moment in time to do that. Um, all right. And then again, yeah. Now, please, I'm aware. In India, there are some people who say you're not allowed to do this. Only the men in the house can do this. That is not of the belief and the tradition I come from. All of my gurus teach that it's okay to do it. And it is of my own personal belief that this is a great way to pacify your life, to help your family, and that if there is so much goodness with doing this, this is such a sweet thing to do. Why wouldn't it be okay? These practices are here for that reason. They're here for goodness. So that is what I will preach. Do it with goodness for goodness. All right. I hope this was clear and that you get some important and valuable information about this upcoming dark moon, which is going to be the dark lunar day of Pitri Amavasya of the ancestors. There's a solar eclipse, so we'll see a fair amount of agitation a few days before. Just try to stay calm and patient. Try not to start new things until we pass this dark moon. All right, take care. As always, if you like this video, you can give it a like. And if you're interested about your chart, we can talk about it. I'm not going to be reading until we get past this dark moon. But you can be in touch and we can have a look at your chart and your ancestors. And if there's any doshas there, be good. Take care.